Hello folks, welcome back to another wee video. So this little video is all about a couple of stoves that I've got, so I'm just going to show you a wee bit ins and outs. But before I do anything of that, I just wanted to talk about this little product I got today. I've never used it, and the reason I only got it is because I had a different kind of camera phone mount altogether. So this is a new one, so I'm going to be testing this today on this shoot. So first impressions, if I can get into it. I did a little bit of research onto it. I'll give you a close up in a second. It says qualified certificate. So this is the Olnze, if that's how you pronounce it, camera mount for the phone. Quite a sturdy little thing there. It's actually alright. So this one is going to fit onto my little Gorilla Pod thing here. I love this little stand, it's ideal. So here we go with the tripod mount. So as you can see, that's how it sits. There's a little button there that if you push that, it can extend the top of it, and you just push it down to the width of your camera. Holds it pretty sturdy, as you can see. It just screws on the top. If I can get it there. It just screws on the top here, and you can just turn that little screw and it goes to a different angle. Also, you put your camera that way, you just a little bit of pressure and you can turn it round. Turn it round whatever angle you want. Has got space for a flash of some sort on the top, if that's what you need. But I mean, there's no instructions with it, so it's a case of just playing about with it yourself. It's pretty self-explanatory. But yes, I think I got it because I needed one because it broke, and I got this, so I'm just testing it out. So yeah, not bad so far. So that actually looks pretty good. I think once you stabilise it there. So I'll do a little bit of filming on here, and I'll give you a wee bit of review on this camera mount at the end. So this is the Olnze. I'll put it, you can pronounce it yourself. So yeah, I'll put a link in the description about this little camera mount. We'll get a better review of it shortly. Anyway, on to the main topic. Stoves. We all need them when we're wild camping. It's a minefield probably when you come to them. There's so many on the market. Expensive ones, seriously expensive ones, and on the lower range, cheaper ones. They all do the same job. They all cook your meal and they all boil water, because that's their job. What is the right stove for you? Depending on what you want to do, actually. If you want to do just basic camping and wild camping as a general exploring the countryside, you just probably need a basic stove. If you're wanting to do high mountaineering in the snow or extreme conditions, you probably need something a bit more robust, a bit more professional kind of looking in out, if I should say that. Professional? Maybe not. It's probably just in the more expensive range, I would think. To do the job a lot better, it's better built of better materials, I would say, or better parts. Anyway, okay, so the first one I'm going to talk about is the Vango stove. This is the one I use all the time. It's actually bulletproof. I love it. This one I've probably had for about 7 years, and I can't fault it in any way. It comes in this little plastic box. I still have the original instructions for it. Never read. So yeah, this little unique tough plastic tub is what this stove fits in, and you just straighten out the wee legs. It's just absolutely perfect. I've had no bother with it, ever. So you would really want to check that you've got a nice good rubber seal there for your gas, and also make sure you have a screw thread on top of your gas bottle. There are a couple that are not screw, so you definitely need to check. I have seen people buying the wrong ones and having to change their gas bottle, so it's just a bit of an inconvenience. So that's a must check little tip. I haven't done it myself, but I have seen and heard people doing it. So that just screws on like so. Half a dozen twists, I think, and then there you go. And this little regulator here, you just turn. It's got a plus and a minus there. So yeah. But normally when I'm out and when it's a bit windy, I have a windshield for it. They come in various sizes, and the one I've got, I'll put a link in the description for all these parts. It comes in a little pouch, which is handy. There. A simple aluminium shield that basically goes round the stove. Simple, lightweight, effective. You don't have to have one. I managed fine without one. You can use dig into the soil at all, or you can use stones or whatever just to buffer the wind off the actual main burner itself. Now, Vango do have an updated version of this, and it has got a little windshield on it, which is brilliant. I would probably still recommend you get one of these anyway, because winds are, you know, extreme conditions. So yes, if this little Vango stove is something that you're needing or looking at, if you're looking for a stove, I can highly recommend this. I've had this for years and it does me fine. It's so good. This wee regulator burner bit just actually does screw off. There we go. It screws off here. So if you ever have an issue with it, it's probably worth just cleaning the inside of there. There's a wee valve, and even just checking the threads and cleaning the top bit there, so it just screws on. Like so. And it also has serrated teeth along the top there for all the wee legs that just stop your pot or your pan from sliding. It gives it that little bit of stability. The legs, again, just fold in like so and clip in. Do that for them all. And like so, I'd normally just put that like that and slide it into the box, along with little bits of tissue that are there to dry up the moisture, and that's it, lid on. Simple. The Vango stove. Okay, The next stove I've got is the good old box fire. I've done a video on this already. I'll put a link up the top here. You can go and watch it. The difference with this one is it's probably a little bit fiddly. So you have to put this together. Two crossbars for the top, and we have one base with 3 notches to insert into the sides. So I have a main front piece. We have 3 sides as well. So these just sort of interlink like so. Slide up, and they just sort of slide into place, and that's it. Nothing too difficult. Some people don't like this slittery mess, but it is. So when you get to this stage where you bolt 3 of them up, it's always worth putting this little base plate in, so it just connects into the wee legs, the wee lips through there. So then you have that side, which just clicks down, and then this one clicks up the way, and that's it. I think when you first get it, it's definitely worth building up a few times just so you actually get used to it. And with the crossbars, they just have 2 little slots there. They just sit in like so, and sit in the cross points at the top. So lightweight, compact, aluminium little stove. So that's the Lixada, and there are many on the market, so you can just have to test the water and see what you think of them. It's probably better seeing them in the flesh, from like a camping stove, or seeing somebody else that's wild camping, what they've got, because if you get the wrong one and it's too fiddly for you, it's just a bit of a pain. But yeah, I do like it. I do take it with me most times. This is the little box fire. As you can see, well used. They are reasonably cheap, so if you're looking for a starter fire or a little box fire to use while you camp, I normally take this away with me as well. So if you want a little contained fire on the beach or something like that, it's pretty decent. You can actually cook on this, and I have. Some people probably don't like them because they're so fiddly. You could lose the parts. The only downside to these box fires is you need to have a lot of kindling with you already prepared, because it does go through quite a lot very quickly. It's very lightweight, and as you see, it goes into this little compact Velcro pouch, and it's brilliant. I don't have a problem with it whatsoever. It's great. So yeah, my only downside to it is you do need to have quite a lot of kindling with you already prepared. So if you are cooking on this, you need to keep stoking it through the front there. I actually start lighting it with, I have a little tin here, and all it is little bits of fire paper, so you can light that, throw it in, and start your kindling on it as well. So it's a great little fire. So cooking on it, it's got a little cross piece at the top there which just slots in, it easily pulled out. So if you're one for losing things, probably not ideal for you. It sits flush with the top, so you can put your pan on it, and lo and behold, I have the pans. Pots sitting on it just like that. I have used this quite a few times, and yes, as I said, you need to keep stoking it with little bits of kindling and whatnot, or firelighters as well if you use them. It is not as quick as burning and boiling the water as the little Vango one, but at the end of the day, if you're trying to go lightweight and it's something that you like, I'll put a little link in the description for this. It's got a grate where all the ashes go in, so you probably need to definitely clear the soil away and get a patch where nothing's going to catch fire there. So it's an excellent little bit of tool, bit of kit. The pots I use, and you'd be wondering why I have a handle with a little bit of a bit tape on it. That is because of this. I put the handle over it like that, and the fire went up and it melted the handles of the pot. I don't need nothing fancy for boiling the water in here. These pots are pretty well straightforward, bulletproof, and just actually ideal. It holds, there's 800 mils of water, and so you can boil in there, and a little extra one if you just want to cook something smaller. So it's a great little pot system. I can't fault it, to be honest. So if you're looking for a quite a cheap set of pots, these are brilliant. And you know, I don't really care if the handle's got melted bits on it. I've just fixed it up to what I need. Ideal. So this is a Lixada box fire. There are so many on the market. You're probably spoilt for choice, to be honest. This is just one of many, and they're great little things to have as long as you take care and put the ash out and bury the embers that are out, put some water on them, the whole safety aspect of it. People don't like it because it's fiddly. You need to build it like a jigsaw. These are probably easily lost if you're one for fiddly bits and pieces. All just comes to bits very easily, I should say. Just like so. And that's it. There we go. Just a simple little box fire with a pouch. And pots as well. So the last stove I want to talk about is the mystery box. So I got this the other week there. I've had it for a while, and it's probably one of these things where I don't think I needed it. I was thinking I was more like wanting to test it and talk about it, but I just wanted to, I've got a good few things planned for the future for wild camping, long expeditions, and one of them is, if you've seen in some of my other videos, I'm planning on doing the North Coast 500, cycling it on my mountain bike while wild camping. I'm doing it for charity, for the Trussell Trust. I'll put a wee link in below in this video and you can check it out. It's a Just Give page. Don't feel obliged to do anything. I'm doing it anyway, and I just thought it'd be nice to do it for the Trussell Trust with food poverty and dealing with the food banks and stuff. So I thought it would be a good idea to get a new stove and to test this one out on my travels. I plan to do it in about 15 to 20 days. So if you don't know the North Coast 500, it begins in Inverness in Scotland and it goes all the way up north to John O'Groats, across the top to the west, down to Ullapool, and kind of weaves its way back down the west coast and back across to Inverness. 500 miles. I think it's actually 517 miles, I think. So I plan to do that, and then from Inverness, after a day's rest, I plan to do the Great Glen Way, cycle it from Inverness all the way down to Fort William. So that's my expedition. It's a good adventure planned. I think I've got 3 weeks to do it in, and fingers crossed I manage it. So yes, this got me thinking about taking this stove on board, testing it out, and I wanted to know if this is good for what I need it for. So let's open it. The magic knife. And the mystery stove is of course the Jetboil. I've seen so many videos on these, and I don't know if they were just too expensive, or because I was so happy with the Vango stove, I probably wasn't interested in it. I got this at a good deal, so I think that's what wild campers do in campers. We all find a deal that we want, and you just have to go for it, and that's the way it is. So I've picked this up, and this is what I want to talk about today, because I want to see if this lives up to its name for when I do my expedition, my good cycling for charity adventure around the North Coast 500. So this is how it comes. It does say it doesn't come with any gas, which is understandably and fair enough. So it's a nice cool blue colour, and yeah, my initial thought is that it looks brilliant. My only concern, it's not concern, it's probably niggly, that I know it says it boils water in 100 seconds or something, but technically when you're wild camping, I have no need to boil water so quickly that I need one to boil it really fast. I'm quite willing to just put the water in a pan and let it boil while I'm doing something else. It's just how I've always camped and how I've always done it. This, when it does it in 100 seconds, I could probably see that this one would be an ideal winter camping thing where you're really needing probably water boiled quicker. So that's my only theory. If you have any other theories on it or experience, drop a comment in the below. I'd love to hear it. Or if you have a comment on any other product, it'd be great to hear it. And if you use a different type of stove altogether, chuck it in, throw it in the comments and let us know, and we'll check it out. There's bound to be stuff out there that I've never heard of, never used. I'm intrigued about it. So yeah, all open to all offers of cooking. So yes, the Jetboil comes in a great sturdy package, pretty well secure. Let's open it. If I can get into it. So first off, there is plenty writing on the back of how good it is, and instructions and all sorts underneath it as well. So I suppose this is a blue one, as you see. There are other colours, so it's whatever you fancy, whatever your preference is to how things are. This is a 1 litre one. It's probably, some people might think it's too big for what they need it for. So basically it actually comes to bits quite well. It's very firmly packed. It's probably worth saving the instructions or anything to do with the back actually. I know this is, most of it's just loose cardboard, but it's actually got that little instruction pack on the back there, so it's probably worth keeping that, just cutting it and having it for a short term. Jet boil. So just flicking through the jet boil instructions, there is 47-page booklet and only 10 pages are in English. So if it's English that you're looking for, there is only 10 pages of how to operate it, the safety, assembly and all that stuff. So that is definitely worth keeping. So onto the jet boil itself. It's pretty cool actually. I like the colour. I have seen red ones, and obviously I've seen smaller ones as well. I don't know what I've not looked into jet boil a lot, so I don't know the full ranges that they've got. So I know this is a 1 litre. I don't know if they're bigger or if you get a smaller one as well. So going with the first impressions and feeling of it, it's actually such a sturdy thing. Bit of a handle on the side there, which is ideal for lifting it up. It's got this is a cover for when it's hot, you can pick it up, and I'm liking it. So inside, sort of good plasticky, tough plasticky lid. What else comes in with it? We have another user's guide. There is some foreign language in there as well, so it's definitely worth having a wee look through that properly. Cardboard spacer, some warning stickers, an actual sticker. Can't beat a sticker. This is the main burner bit where the igniter. It's got all the safety and operating instructions on it as well. And you'll probably find that looking through the size of the writing and all that in these booklets, I mean, it's just a blur for me. You just need a pair of glasses to read them with. So yes, definitely worth taking your time and going through there. You also get one of these. This is pretty cool. I think most stoves should come with these for what you need. This, I was going to buy one before I bought this jet boil, and this is probably one of the most simplest but most handiest tools or pieces of equipment that you could probably get. Although this doesn't come with gas, you have your own gas bottle. The gas, it covers a few different types of gas bottles, so you've got different sizes. So yeah, it just sort of snap clips. You can now hang it there, so it's not flimsy. It's not just a gas bottle that sits on top of it and that's it. It actually does snap clip in, which is really handy. Absolutely perfect. It's so long overdue, and I have seen other people with them on it, and I've thought, yeah, I'll get a hold of one of them. But this is just absolutely brilliant. If you haven't got one, it's probably going to be a big saviour for you for supporting your gas bottle. So yes, great piece of kit. So the jet boil itself, the main body, it's got the plastic lid, and it has a single hole, and I presume that's for drinking. and you've also got another filter there, which is perforated holes, and that's probably going to be for straining whatever you need to out of it. A good robust handle on it, that's a good webbing strap there for holding everything up. Pretty decent and quite a solid, easy thing to hold. On the bottom it has a plastic covering case which just pops off. I think that did. Yeah. It does pop off. It's basically a covering that protects the bottom of the jet boil there with all the perforated fins for generating heat. So this could be used for topping up your water or drinking out of at some point. I don't think that's really what it's for. I think it's just generally a cap for keeping it from getting damaged and keeping it clean, obviously. So this main burner bit as well, it actually did have this on it. I didn't bring a pair of scissors, but it's a bit of safety instructions on it, and it was through the sort of main switch, the burner valve, and it's made of tough plastic, so it's going to need cut off with a good pair of scissors because they want you to read it because for safety, that's why. So that basically was sitting, the little cap, it was sitting, that's it, it was sitting like that, and that comes off. It's another bit of a good thing that Jetboil have actually put together. So putting it on, probably best not to throw that away. It might get cracked or it might get broken of some sort. It's probably worth taping it together and keeping it, because I think the last thing you want is any of the fins getting damaged, and the amount of money that these cost, it's not worth it. So it's definitely worth keeping this bit of plastic for the bottom there. So this fits on. There is a couple of little inlet grooves there, and there also is in this, they have little sort of raised dots that basically sits on top of that, slides on top and give it a wee twist, so it's pretty well solid. So that's it on. You then have to unfold your gas lever, your regulator lever, and with your gas bottle there, making sure it's all proper. Again, don't over tighten it, just naturally give it that it will tighten up itself. So quite a solid piece of kit, and with the little lever you have the on and off, you can hear that gas. So I think what's best to do is probably give it a try out. I did bring some water and a cup. What I'll do, I'll measure out just a cup of water. So there's a normal cup full of water there. In she goes. Everything put together, the water's in as well. I think what they do say with jet boils is to actually take it off and just to make sure that everything, because it's a new burner, just to check everything's going. So you just turn that, there it's on. Sit it down. And that's our going. So I'm not going to time it, because at the end of the day there's probably, I think that's going a wee bit too deep for what I need to talk about. At the end of the day it's going to boil the water for what I need it for, and that's all I really need to do. So far it's a great piece of kit. I'm still enjoying it. I'm still got to find out more about it, and I think this is probably what I will take with me on the North Coast 500. I think it's probably everything I need. I can put everything inside there, the regulator and the legs and the plastic cup on the bottom. The gas will go in another pocket. So this is probably ideal for what I need. You could probably boil a meal in there, or anything you kind of need to be honest. So yes, we'll get this cup of tea going. That is, I'm not even going to, I don't even know, it's less than a minute, and that's the steam coming out the top there already for the water boiling. So I mean, you see it yourself. The valve is right up either, so we are talking that it's not a full turned up. Wow. It's a good quality plastic top lid. It's got a bit of flex in it and a bit of play, so it's not a brittle thing that you reckon's just going to snap. And that's us boiling. Wow. Wow. Tea bags, a sugar, twist and a pull off. Some milk in the tea. that's hot. So there you go. The jet boil, 1 litre. It's definitely worth playing about with, just to make sure you know how to work the ins and outs of it. I did touch that, and it is generally obviously hot, so it's worth definitely taking care of how you actually work this for the first time. You don't get burnt, that's what I'm saying. A great cup of tea. So there we have it. We have the 3 stoves: the jet boil, the Vango stove, and the bush box as well. And I think I got put off with the jet boil because it was so expensive. But if you manage to get a deal from it, it's definitely worth. I think it's definitely worth having one. I didn't have that full up, and it boiled very quickly. So, for whatever reason, you need to have one of these. I'm very impressed. Very impressed. I think probably you might want to see one in a sports shop or camping shop, and for yourself, just to actually feel how good quality that is. It's so lightweight. I love it. So I'll leave it here, and if you have any comments, please do. I'd love to hear your comments on any production for all the pieces of kit that I've used today. And the little camera stand mount seems to be doing a trick, so big thumbs up to that so far. Proof's in the pudding, as I've said before, is probably, I think I will take this on the North Coast 500, and that mount as well will be going with me, so it will be getting a good try out. And yes, looking forward to it. So this will be my last video for a while, because I'm doing this North Coast 500. It's starting on the 14th of May. I'll put a wee link in the description, as I said before, for the Just Give page. If you feel you need to, don't feel pressured at all to do so, but I'll put the link anyway if you'd like to donate. It's all for the Trussell Trust, which I think in this desperate time for many people around the country, it's quite sad to hear that people are toiling to feed themselves. So the Trussell Trust help deal with food banks and food poverty. So if you want to, I'll put the link for the Trussell Trust website as well, and you can check them out. Take care. Cheers for now. I just wanted to say a little thank you to everyone who subscribes to this channel, Camping on the Wild Side. You've actually made it. Everybody who watches it, subscribes, likes and comments, you actually make it so worthwhile, and I absolutely thoroughly enjoy doing it. It's good to see the wide variety of people who actually watch and view and comment and subscribe. So from the bottom of my heart, just thanks very much for being there and making it, the channel, what it is. Although I'm talking about stoves today, that was just a small bunch of stoves that I've just got. Please don't feel obliged to go and buy a jet boil at quite high rocketing prices. Camping can be such an enjoyable and what a great experience wild camping does to your mental health, to your whole well-being, to get out there in nature. So I just wanted to say, please don't feel obliged to go and buy something that's really, really expensive. As I said in the video there, that bush box is so cheap, and the Van Gogh stove is kind of basic stuff. There are cheaper stoves out there, so please don't feel that you have to be pushed into getting something that's really expensive. If you're new to wild camping, and I hope you are, I hope if you watch this video and you've never done it and you take it up, please don't go and buying expensive stuff. There's no need for it. We're getting into the better weather, so quite a nice decent tent and a nice sleeping bag and a roll mat are the basic essentials that you need. Yes, there's lots of other ins and outs on it, but please don't go buying all the expensive stuff. I've found camping stuff in charity shops that I still use today. You don't need it. You don't need all that expensive stuff. And camping is becoming very, very expensive. If you can afford it, absolutely, you do what you feel you need to do. But I survive and love doing my camping experience with what I've got. I don't need all the expensive stuff. There's some things throughout what we do as wild campers is we gain kit, and we just want a little bit of, we know how to survive in the basic situation, so we've been there, done that, got the t-shirt. So yes, if you're new to wild camping, please take it up. Please don't go buying expensive stuff. There's plenty of stuff out there that is pretty cheap, or low cost I should say, and it's all about getting out there and enjoying yourself with nature, with the fresh air, with wildlife. And at the end of the day, you make it what it is. Your kit will help you along the way, and it doesn't always benefit a lot of people with expensive stuff. It's nice to have and nice to show off, but at the end of the day, basic kit is what you need to start with. So happy camping if you're going to try it, and if you are trying it and like it, good on you. So yes, final thought, thanks very much for subscribing or checking out the video. We're also on Facebook as well at Camping on the Wild Side, and Instagram at Camping on the Wild Side Scotland. So please join us. I'd love to take you on my little adventure. Catch you on the next one. Cheers for now.